Hey, this your boy J Ray back with another video, back with another live stream. Thank you for joining me on Tech Tuesday today. As always, I'm your host, Subzerojray. Today there's a couple things, major news that I want to cover, that I want to talk about, that I want to get your guys' opinions on. First of them, okay, let's just start off. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's start off with the big announcement. Basically, Andy Rubin, one of the co-founders of Android, actually the founder of Android, who went on, whose Android operating system was bought by Google, ended up coming out with his own company called Essential. They came out with a brand new phone. Basically, it's from what I understand, it's like a Pixel. It's running pure Android. Difference being, it has no bloatware, nothing like that. It's made out of ceramic and titanium. So very, very nice premium materials. It is also going to be running Android 7.1.1, I believe it is. Hey, Tech for Your Needs, thank you for joining. It also comes with an Alexa competitor speaker that is running the ambient software. Now, you say, okay, well, a lot of people have come out with brand new phones. A lot of people have come out with new software and stuff like that. How is this any different than any other? Well, in Andy Rubin's own words, he said, we got to fix this mess that we've created. And basically, what he's talking about is the fragmentation. Basically, what he's talking about is carrier bloat. He's talking about manufacturer bloat. Several apps that manufacturers will put on there to like S-Voice or S-Health or Zoe or whatever, Hey, Benna, thank you for joining. Basically putting out all this bloat that comes on Android phones, and the fact of it not being able to get updates as fast. And so that's pretty cool in that sense. But what struck me more was on the speaker part that Andy Rubin was talking about was the ambient software. I have a feeling that if ambient does really, really good for this speaker system that they got, since Andy Rubin seems to be that he's wanting to take the best from iOS, which is the security of knowing the security and the updates, from iOS, because with iOS, you're always going to get the latest and greatest software. It don't matter. Your phone can be 5 years old and it's still going to get the latest and greatest. And with iOS, you can pretty much say the security aspect is going to be there. But on the flip side, with Android, you have choice. With Android, you can be able to customize your icons, customize anything that you want, any way you want it, and not have to worry about the operating system nickel and diming you every time you turn around. So I think that to me is kind of cool, because on the ambient side of it, on the speaker, it's like, look, it don't matter what's connected in your home. Everything that's in your home should be able to work with each other, and that's really what I think he's getting at. Tech for Your Needs, the mass consumer is not going to know about it. Let's see, the mass consumer is not going to know about it. Average consumer, due to the fact it is not going to be sold in stores, only techie is going to know about it. Essential's phone. That is true, but if you can create enough hype, kind of like with the Nexus devices, a lot of people, when Nexus first started out, Android was like, okay, this is going to be pure Android, and a lot of people were like, well, I'll just buy whatever. But Nexus actually blew up to be pretty big, and that's kind of where I see the Essential phone being, is replacing the Nexus devices. Not Pixel, not not nothing like that. This is a more improved Nexus phone in my eyes. That's what I'm seeing. You got a premium material, premium build, premium uh, processor. Everything about it is really, really nice. Is it expensive? Yes, it's $700. But on the flip side of it, to be able to get every update that's going to be out there, to be able to know that it's going to be more secure, that it's not going to come with a lot of bloat, that it's not going to have a lot of carrier bloat. And I wouldn't be surprised if, with him creating this, if Google didn't snatch it up. You know, that could be because it comes unlocked and will work with any carrier basically in the U.S. So that's another thing that we got to keep in mind now is that this is not an ordinary phone. To me, it's like an upper end Nexus device, which I think is really, really nice. But like I said, the thing about the ambient software, it's got me like, okay, if they go with the ambient software on the phone, and you know, if it works with every single connected device that I have, that would be cool. That would be really, really awesome to me if it did that. Because what we're seeing now in tech is we're seeing, okay, we got a Samsung camp over here. Okay, we got an iPhone camp over here. Okay, well, we got Pixel over here and Nexus over here. Okay, well, we got Windows back here. There's still people that use Windows. Okay, well, then we got Nokia or whatever. The thing is that instead of having one unified ecosystem, we've got it divided to where it's like three major ecosystems. And to where when you get into those ecosystems, you're having to choose which one works best for you. Case in point, if you got a Google phone and you say, okay, well, I got a Google phone, and you say, well, I wonder if somebody makes, because I really like using Google products, does somebody make a Google laptop? And then you say, oh, well, there's a Chromebook over there, so you pick up the Chromebook. Then you say, okay, well, I got that. Let me get the Google Home. Oh, okay, well, let me get the Google Chromecast. Let me get the Chromecast speaker and the Chromecast for the TVs that I have in the house. So you're seeing that. But if you got an Android phone and a MacBook laptop, and then you have a Fire TV, and then you got Fire Sticks on the rest of your TVs in the house, it doesn't really jive together. And I think with ambient software, I think that's what he's kind of trying to get it to do is it don't matter what manufacturer it's from. This is a hub. This is a hub where all those devices connect to this hub in your house, and you can say, okay, look, it doesn't matter whether I got a quick set Bluetooth door lock deadbolt on the front of my door, or whether I got a Honeybee Ecobee thermostat, or whether I got different shades that raise up and down, or whatever. It don't matter whether I have security, whether you have this security system or that security system, where this hub's just going to be able to pull them all together and say, look, you're all going to work together, and this is how we're going to do it. I think that's a major thing. I really think that here in the next little while, something's got to give. Something's got to give. There's got to be an innovation that's going to come up where it's like, and I say this all the time, where it's like the movie Her, where you just have this one system that everybody uses that's AI, and it says, okay, your AI controls the bedroom, the alarm system, thermostat, the door locks, the stove, whatever. It controls everything in your house that's connected to it. Let's see. Tech for Your Needs says, I like competition. It brings innovation in today's market industry. Is not one rule, everything it goes system. I like it being divided. That's true. Now, I will agree with you on that, where, yes, it does competition. But my thing is, and I'll give you a perfect example. I own an Android phone. On the Android phone, I can connect these earbuds to the Android phone, right? Now, here's the thing. It loses some of the functionality of me connecting these AirPods to the Android phone, meaning I can't use Siri, I can't double tap to hang up a phone call or nothing like that. So it loses just a little bit of the functionality, right? But I think when we're really getting down to it, if I'm making a product, why can I not make a product that works with each and every assistant out there? Why can't I have one product, but that product will work with Siri, it'll work with Google Assistant, it'll work with Alexa, and it'll work with Cortana, it'll work for Hound. Why can't that one product be able to work with everything that I have connected in my house, no matter who I use? You know, that to me is a big deal, because even though I like using Siri, my Nest, it doesn't work with Siri. Now it'll work with Google. It'll work with Google now, or Google Assistant. It'll work with that, but it won't work with Siri. Why? That's an integral part of my connected home. And that's really what I'm getting at, is that even though you like using different stuff, even though you like stuff, kind of like you prefer using Windows because of the ease of use of Windows 10, but you like using Google on your phone, but you like using iOS to watch your TV, or Amazon Fire to, it should be that no matter what you're using, they should kind of jive together. You know what I'm saying? They should be able to find common middle ground, to where it's not forcing you to say, okay, well, I can only use this ecosystem, I can only do this, I can only do that. Which, that being said, talking about the assistant, that's something that's going to play a major role. And I think what it's going to come down to is who has the better assistant, who has the ability to really bring people together and say, you know what, I'm only going to use this assistant because this assistant is the one that does everything that I want it to do. I think as soon as they find that, then and start, and kind of thinning the herd a little bit, we should start seeing competition kind of either fall off or level out. Because right now it seems like everybody's a little neck and neck. Also in the news today, Apple's talking about coming out with a dedicated AI chip for the iPhone. And you say, okay, well, dedicated AI chip, what big deal? But that is a big deal because, as you know, Apple designs its own chips for the iPhone. Nobody else does that. Apple does it, and then they say, here, make this. And they take it to whatever manufacturer, and the manufacturer makes it, So Apple designs its own chip. Now, what that own chip does is help the phone be optimized better for the iOS operating system, and be optimized for the specs of the phone and how they're using it and how it's running. I think my iPhone 6s Plus only has 2 gigs of RAM, with an A10, I believe it is, or A9, something like that. I forgot the chip, but it's optimized for that phone. It's optimized to be able to be used without any hiccups whatsoever. And that's really important. Now, I believe Apple designed its own graphics card too, also. And with them doing the AI chip, that means that we have a dedicated piece of hardware that's connected strictly for AI. That means that it won't be using anything from the CPU or GPU or anything like that to do its computation. It will have its own dedicated brain, So with that, I believe with the June 5th, come Monday, I believe Apple's going to have a major upgrade to Siri, which is really, really exciting. Will it be on par with Google now, or will it blow away Google now? I mean, who's to say? But we're getting down to where companies, a phone can only go so far, and it's really come down to the operating system. And like I said, it won't be long before the operating system itself. You won't have a phone. It'll be in your headphones. It'll be on your watch. It may be like on a ring or something that you wear. It's not going to be how we're used to consuming information now. One of the things that I really like about Google Assistant is the fact that I can say, okay, Google, good morning. And then Google will say, oh, good morning, say my name, and then pertain to read me all the day's events, the weather, the news, calendar, all like that. I'm hoping to see some of that integration in Siri. I'm hoping that Siri, when I say good morning, Siri's like, oh, hey, good morning. And since I like listening or looking at this news, this particular news outlet or whatever, she'll say, oh, well, here's the latest news from so-and-so, and just go through it. If she knows that I like watching a certain podcast early in the morning, she'll be able to say, oh, well, here's the podcast, and pull it up. Maybe put it on the screen in the living room or screen on the bedroom if she knows that I turn that screen on in the morning when I get up. This is the type of stuff that I'm talking about. This is the type of stuff that to me gets me excited. So when I hear that there's a new OS, and this new OS is basically trying to bring everything and everyone together, that to me is exciting. It's exciting because I feel like we're one step closer to that Star Trek level technology, or closer to the Jetsons type of technology, or another step closer to Star Wars technology. This means that a lot more stuff is going to be opened up to you. Could you imagine traveling to a country? Used to you had to travel to another country, and you had to have a translator so you could be able to speak to the people there and say, oh yeah, well, I like this, or I want to eat this, or what is this, what's in it, and stuff like that. Could you imagine where all you do is you have your earbuds in, and you say, okay, Siri, I need you to translate. And Siri's like, okay, I'll translate. And so the guy's talking to you, and you hear it in real time what he's saying. Like if you go to Japan and the guy says, konnichiwa, well, in your ear you hear, hey, how are you today? And then you say, oh, I'm doing very well. And then he's got the same ones in, and it automatically translates to him what you said. It's one of those things where we're no longer limited, in our understanding of each other. Where when we talk, we can say, oh, well, this is truly what I said, or this is what I mean, or whatever. There's so much out there. There's so much out there that's coming up and coming together, and that's kind of how I feel. With Ambient, with Essential doing this on their Amazon Echo competitor, I think it's really going to open up the doors. Now, this being Rodrigo Digo, hey man, no, sorry, can't do that, buddy. Let's see. All right. There you go. Sorry, buddy. I don't do the spam thing. I do not do that. Bam. There you go. But like I said, that like I said, that being said, it's just I get excited when we have a possibility of a new OS. Like I was looking at Selfish OS. Selfish is something that maybe a lot of you guys haven't heard of or knew about. but it was a really cool OS. It was a new take on different stuff. Ubuntu had a new OS that they had out for a phone, and of course these OSs, I don't even know if you can use them now or can do that, but it's one of those things where it's it's exciting because you can honestly see where we're at, where we're going, where we're coming from. You can see that. Okay, think about. I want y'all to think back for a little bit. Think about when the cell phone first came out, the bag phone, the Motorola bag phone, where you had to carry around basically like a little duffel bag with this huge brick held up to your head. You know, and now look at what we're carrying now. I mean, man, I don't even know if that first phone even had RAM available in it. I doubt it did. But it was freaking massive, massive phone. But now we're carrying around phones that have more computing power than uh my parents' old what's it, gateway computer. You know, um I mean, I remember, wow, that's got a gig of RAM, man. That thing is powerful, man. Nowadays, a gig of RAM ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. Look at the Surface Pro as a matter of fact. The Surface Pro turnaround, and it's this little bitty tablet looking thing, but it's got a 1 terabyte hard drive, 16 gigs of RAM. I mean, running full on Windows. The thing is a beast, man. I mean, who would have thought? Who would have thought that we would be running that? In something the size of a tablet. So to see a company that's experimenting, to see a company that's coming out with a new hardware, and then to turn around and see a company that's having a dedicated AI chip, I think that's really going to help with Siri's response time too. I think that's going to help with her response time and being able to talk to her more personally, like I'm talking to you guys, to be able to ask a question and get a reply, and then ask another question, and it just keeps on going. You know, it's one of those things that I think is really, really cool. Now, Google Assistant, I want to say Google Assistant runs off the cloud. I mean, I think some of it's in the phone, but a majority of it is in the cloud. The same with Siri. I think some of Siri is in the cloud where it's got a senior response time, where it's got a senior response out, but then a lot of its computing is done through the CPU on the phone. Now they have a dedicated CPU just for AI that hints at something bigger that's coming, that hints at something that's going to be above and beyond what we currently have. And that really, really excites me because it's getting to now where AI is being cognizant, where it's not quite artificial intelligence, but it's just enough to where it can carry on a little bit of a conversation with you. And I think that's really, really awesome. A lot of people are scared, well, AI, that's going to be the death of us. We're going to have Skynet and all like this. But AI will only be allowed to do what people program it to do. You always have to remember that. Just like a computer is only as good as the information that's being put into it. So for people to really freak out about AI, I kind of don't understand it, because if that was the case, then you should be freaking out about computers, because computers, we put a lot of information, personal information about ourselves into these computers. So it's there. It's not ever, if you post something online, you think, oh, well, I deleted it, but if somebody's got a screenshot of it or something, it's there forever. It's always going to be online. Once online, always online. Because there's always going to be a backup or something of this. Case in point, look at people that tweet. Oh, well, I tweeted this. Oh, well, you caught me. I'm sorry. I said something dumb. I deleted the tweet. And somebody's like, ha ha. No, you didn't. I screenshotted that. Here you go. Um, that's the thing about it. For people to be saying that they're nervous or scared of AI, I really don't get that because, like I said, if that's the case, then you should be scared of the computer because of the information that we put into it. This AI is only going to be able to do the things that we allow it to do. You know, there's already machine learning. The thing about it is that do you say, okay, go and learn as much as you can about human evolution, and then Skynet, is like, well, I've seen humans, I've seen what happened, I've seen your history, I've read your books on your history and stuff like that. I'm just gonna wipe you out. Because I think we all, as humans, even as humans, we feel that way sometimes. Like, man, if I was able to, I'd just wipe everybody out. But AI would only be allowed to do that if we programmed it to be that way. Now when AI starts writing its own code or something like that, then you're gonna have a problem. Then you need a hardware shut off or something. Hold on 1 minute. But guys, give me your thoughts on this. I want to know what your thoughts is on this subject and what you think and what you see. I mean, do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you agree to up to a certain extent, or do you feel like that you're ready for other things, ready to see something bigger and better? So I'll let you guys type those questions up while I get me a drink. Whew, man, that was that's a high quality H2O. Oh, hey Tech. Hmm. Thank you for coming back. Hmm. Whew. So, like I said, guys, what are your questions? What are your thoughts on AI? What are your thoughts on the future of computing? The future of, I guess, coming up to the Jetsons or coming up to where we're getting close to the Star Trek tech. Uh, had to refresh yourself. I hear you, man. I hear you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all, man. So, like I said, guys, um, this, and again, I want to reiterate this. This is stuff that gets me excited because it's like, man, we're something cool is fixing to happen in tech. Something cool is fixing to. There's going to be a big boom. I think it is. I think somebody somewhere. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be Android. I don't know if it's going to be Apple. I don't know if it's going to be Microsoft, Essential, Nokia, BlackBerry, whoever. I feel like that there is something coming that's just gonna kind of like the iPhone. When the iPhone came out, everybody was like, "Oh, did you see that? He went to the internet on his phone, a full browser on his phone, you know." And then Android come out, and everybody was like, "Oh, did you see he could customize that any way he wanted to?" Now I feel like there's going to be a product that's going to be coming out that's going to make everybody go, "Oh, did you see that? Did you see that?" Yo, what's up, Phone Tech at Work? How are you doing? Thank you for joining. I really, really appreciate it. It's going, Tech for Your Needs says it's going to be like George Jetson era coming within 10 to 15 years. Just got home. Oh, yeah. Tell your youngest happy B-Day. Congratulations. Always gotta love them B-Days. Got to thank the good Lord that we're allowed to enjoy another one with friends and family. Always. Okay. So, Tech, you're thinking 10 to 15 years for the Jetsons. You know what? I think that's probably about right. I think you're right about that. I think it's gonna be just a few more years, and we're gonna see like I said, just this big home explosion where a lot of stuff is gonna be automated. We already got automated door locks. We got automated ceiling fans, automated lights, automated TVs and stuff. You know, I think what needs to happen, and this is where I think ambient fitting in as far as the Internet of Things is concerned, is that ambient software is kind of like the skeleton key. And all the devices in your house are different doors in your house, right? So everything um, everything in your house is a key lock, right? Is a padlock from your thermostat, from your doors to your lights, everything, right? But ambient software and phone tech to what the topic is, we're talking about artificial intelligence with Apple actually dedicating a chip to artificial intelligence in the iPhone, and we're talking about ambient software essential, the new essential speaker from Essential Company and their new phone. But like I was saying, so imagine all the internet connected devices in your house as being different locks, right? So for each one of these locks, you got to have a separate key, right? So if you're using an Apple TV, then you need, if you want to cast something to your Apple TV, then you need to have an iPhone because that's the key that fits that, right? Um, One of the other things, is like Nest. If you want your Nest thermostat to work, then you need an Android device for your Nest thermostat for you to be able to use the voice assistant with the Nest, right? What ambient does is ambient's like a skeleton key. A skeleton key will unlock any lock, no matter what it is, you know. So the skeleton key is ambient software, and the ambient says, hey, I got a key for you, I got a key for you, I got a key for you. So now you can say, hey, whatever their assistant is, if they're going to use Google now or whatever, you can say, okay, Google, turn the Apple TV on Hulu because I want to watch Supernatural. And all of a sudden your Apple TV turns on, the Supernatural starts playing, the latest episode or whatever, and that's it. Then you say, oh, well, okay, okay, Google, I want the Roomba to vacuum the living room. So then the Roomba starts up and it starts vacuuming the living room, to where you don't have to actually go into that app. Or you say, okay, Google, unlock the front door, and it unlocks the front door or your security system. Okay, Google, arm the house. Or, okay, Google, I'm leaving the house, arm the house in 20 minutes. And it's like, okay, well, you got a timer, your timer's counting down, you got 20 minutes to get your crap, get out the house before the alarm's turned on, right? That to me, we need that type of deal because like I was saying, for right now, it's like everything, you got a mishmash of everything. And for those of us in tech, it is so frustrating when you're trying to get stuff to work with your MacBook, or you're trying to get stuff to work with your iPhone, or you're trying to get your Google to work with, something else, or your Windows to work with something else. Or, I mean, God, man, I remember running iTunes on Windows, and that's actually what made me switch to a Mac, because I'm one of those people that I liked iTunes, because I got a virus downloading songs from, and this is so old, downloading songs from LimeWire. Back in the day, it was just stuff that I really couldn't get. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I never thought nothing about it, young and dumb and all that. And so, but I got a virus, and it got in. So I was like, no. I wiped everything, redone everything. And I ended up using iTunes because I was like, you know what? This way I don't have to worry about anything. But iTunes on my Dell 4600 was so bad. Oh my God, it was so bad. It was so slow. It would make my computer run slow. It was just horrible. So I ended up switching to a Mac computer, and it was so much better, so much easier. And I was like, oh, okay, this is really nice. And that's what I'm saying. That I want that kind of functionality to where no matter what I own, no matter what I have, no matter what piece of tech I have, it all jives together. It may not give me every bit of function that I'm able to get if I had everything in the same ecosystem, but it still works. If I tell it to turn on the living room lights, it's going to turn on the living room lights. Though it may not, if I tell it, hey, I want you to turn on the living room lights and make them red, then it may not do that, but it'll turn them on, and it'll be just like the light in here, where I have to go into the app and make it turn different colors myself. That's what I was saying. Just like with my AirPods, will work with Android, but it's limited functionality, but they still work. That is the functionality that I'm asking for. It doesn't have to do everything, but it needs to do the major stuff. Whether it's if I ask Google now to turn on my Apple TV, it may turn on my Apple TV. It just may not turn it to the channel. Hold on, guys. Let me give me a little drink. And a breath in. Okay, so guys, what are your thoughts on this subject? I want to know what y'all think about this, because I do believe it is something that is very, very important. And that's where I feel Andy Rubin is coming from. Andy Rubin says, okay, look, we got these several thousand different Android devices out here. It's like, why? It's like, why would I even, out of all these different Android devices, they're so different. They're so, this bloatware, that bloatware, this skin, that skin. It needs to be all in one. It needs to be able that no matter who has this device, you're going to get the latest and greatest. And you're not going to be like, well, 2 years, you're good. You're going to get the latest OS for 2 years, and then after that, we're cutting it off, buddy. Cut for your needs. LimeWire, I remember you're 2 years older than me. So whatever conversation you talk about, I'm up to date. I know that's right, man. I know that's right. But you see where I'm coming from, tech. You see how we see the progression of how tech is just really, really exploded. But at that time, you had this software that wouldn't work with this computer, and this computer wouldn't work with this software. And it's just crazy. And that's what Andy Rubin was saying. Why? Why do we have to have this? If you're paying this much for this phone, it should get the latest and greatest. You should not have to worry about software updates. You shouldn't have to worry about all these things that we're currently having to worry about now in this day and age. So that's what I'm saying. That's what excites me, because and I'm gonna take you back for a little bit. On Star Trek, if you guys watch Star Trek: The Next Generation, I want you to notice how nobody says, "Okay, Google." I want you to notice how nobody says, "Hey Siri," "Hey Cortana," nothing. When you watch Star Trek, what do they all say? Computer. Computer. What is the analysis of this planet? Computer. Tell Jordy that I need him up here. Computer. Tell computer. You don't have this hodgepodge of tech that just can't work together. Okay, let me get to your comments. Phone tech at work? I need to get started with home technology. Hey, man, I'm going to tell you a great way to get started with it. This is how I got started with it, and I really, really like it. My first piece of home technology was a Nest thermostat. I love it. I can't control it with Siri, which is a downside, but it's got an app, and it works with my Google Home. Really, really like that. Also, Vivint, Vivint. Check them out. It's a home security, but they got everything you need. They got the door locks, the automatic door locks, Bluetooth door locks, as a matter of fact. You can control that from your phone, from the app. They got a lot of stuff that you can hook up in your home, and of course it comes with a monthly fee, but they monitor your home. They do everything. It's kind of like that other security people, but check them out. Tech for your needs. Yes, I agree, but the companies are not going to let it happen right away due to the fact that you can buy a cheaper device and get it working. So they're losing money. Example, no need to buy an iPhone. But see, this is where I kind of want to pick your brain, right? If devices are getting smaller, if the phones are getting smaller, and they're putting more stuff into smartwatches, into Bluetooth headphones, why do I need a smartphone? You see, this is what I'm getting at. If they're making, now follow me here, guys. If Apple is making a dedicated AI chip, right? What's to say in the next 2 or 3 years they don't put that dedicated AI chip in a watch? Who's to say 3 years after that they don't put a dedicated AI chip in this earbud? That's all I'm saying. Because everything's getting smaller. Yo, what's up, Ford Tech? Thank you so much for joining. So that's what I'm saying. Why, in the future, why would I need to carry around this if I already have this and this? Why would I really need to carry that around when I can just ask Siri, give me directions to Gassano's Pizza? And Siri says, okay, giving you directions. How are you going? Well, I'll be driving. Okay, here's directions to Gassano's Pizza. Here's the quickest route for driving. And I'm driving along, and Siri's pumping it through the car audio speakers, and I'm good, So, or if I'm walking, she's giving me walking. Or if I say, okay, I need to know when the A train's coming through. What time is when can I catch the next A train? She's like, okay, it'll be here in 15 minutes. And I'm like, oh, okay, let me go ahead. I don't need a phone because the assistant is feeding it all to me. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like with the dedicated AI chip, this chip is first going to be in the phone, right? That Apple's making a dedicated AI chip for Siri in the iPhone. It's first going to be in the phone. But as technology rolls along, as technology keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller, we're going to start seeing that AI chip show up in other places. Look at Samsung. Great example. Think about Samsung. What did Samsung do that nobody else was doing? I just want y'all to think about this. Let this stew for a minute. What did Samsung do that nobody else was doing with a smartwatch? And everybody was like, what? Tech for your needs, yes, but it's still tied to Apple no matter what device they put it. So, is not yet cross-platform. I know we're in the early stages. Okay, Tech, I see where you're going with that, but I want to give you a prime example, and think about this for a minute. Google Assistant on the iPhone. Just think about it. Google Assistant is on the iPhone. So now, if Apple's making great hardware, and I grab the hardware, right? And I grab the hardware, and I say, you know what? I want to do this. So I download the assistant that I want to use, and it's Google. Why does Apple care? Apple's already got the money, right? Same with Google. If I'm buying Google hardware because Google works with everything I got, it shouldn't matter to me, what hardware it's on. But the point I was getting at was Samsung. Samsung did something with their smartwatch that a lot of people didn't do with smartwatches when the rumor came out that Apple was going to make a smartwatch. Samsung turned around and made a smartwatch. Not only could it get full internet, that you had a full internet browser on the watch, and you know the ones I'm talking about. I'm talking about the original one where the whole screen was curved. That big body. They put a 3G cellular antenna inside it so you can make and take calls from your watch that you didn't even need your phone. And they still continue to do that to this day with the Samsung Galaxy Gear S2 and the Samsung Galaxy Gear S3. You can still get it with an LTE. Is it LTE? It may still be 3G, 4G. Anyway, you can still get it with this cellular band inside it. So this is the stuff that I'm talking about. This is the stuff that we're starting to see. So if you don't want to carry your phone with you, if you're going to the club and you're like, look, I don't want to go to the club because I don't want to carry my phone there because every time, people getting their phones stolen in the club, blah, blah, blah. You know what? My watch is charged up 100%. I'm just gonna rock with my watch. It's got the same number. If I get a phone call, I can get it. I'm good, right? Same thing. We're starting to see this technology shrink down to where they're gonna be able to get it in headphones or whatever it is that we use the most. That's the technology. That's the technology that I'm really, really excited about. And yeah, you're right, Tech. We are, poor Tech. You're too old for the club. But, and that's what I'm saying. Let's say you're going to a crowded restaurant. Let's say you're going to a crowded restaurant and you're like, look, I know this place is really, really crowded. It's got the best Philly cheesesteak I've ever eaten. It's going to be elbow to elbow. You know what? These pants, my phone's been falling out of my pants. You know what? I'm going to leave my phone at the house while I walk down here and I'm going to get this Philly cheesesteak, right? So you leave it there, and your watch is doing everything. Now, if your assistant is in your watch and you just got a pair of $20 Bluetooth headphones, you're sitting there, hey, assistant, your assistant's telling you, hey, your wife's on her way home. She just left her work. Or your kids, they just got off the bus. They're coming up to the front door right now. Do you want me to go ahead and unlock the front door? It recognizes that. It recognizes that your kids are about to be home. It recognizes that your wife is 15 minutes away from her job. It recognizes that you got this schedule coming up. It recognizes that your mom is trying to get a hold of you. It recognizes that it's been 2 weeks since you called and checked on your dad. That's the stuff. That's what I'm getting at. That's where we're really seeing this integration really come along. That's where we're seeing, and this is how I feel. Y'all may have different needs, but this is how I feel the technology is going. This is where I feel that they're really pushing tech. This to me, talking about AI, talking about the next generation, talking about what's coming up, and how the future is going to be. To me, this is the cutting edge. AI is the next great leap. Let's see, tech for your needs, smartwatch, 3G, and mobile payment integrated is cool. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The bank I used finally got Apple Pay. I was so excited. I was like, oh, I got to use it. So I was at work and I seen a machine. It's got the little touch to tap thing on it. I said, beep, beep. Bam. Paid for it. Walked on like, oh man, I was on cloud 9, dude. I was like, hey, did you see that? I did that. I paid for my stuff with my watch. Didn't need my wallet. Bam. Same thing at Chick-fil-A. Dude, I did it at Chick-fil-A, and I was like, did you see? The lady's like, that'll be so-and-so. Beep. I was quick with it, too. I was like, beep. Thank you. Thank you. I just played it off like it wasn't nothing. I was like, oh, here's your receipt. Thank you very much, ma'am. I mean, that just gets me excited to think that I won't have to carry around a thick wallet with all my information in. To think that I won't have to walk around with one of these with everything in it. I can just have a money clip that got my license on it. I mean, dude, that's awesome. That is so awesome. Samsung Pay, I like the way they integrated it. I think that is really, really awesome. As mobile payments keep getting bigger and bigger, more companies are going to incorporate it. That's just the way it is. More secure to me. But again, that to me, that's the next frontier. That's the new frontier of how I feel stuff is going. Now a lot of you may disagree with me on this, but I think that's the bleeding edge. I think if I could control all my connected devices with just my voice, or if my assistant is feeding me all the information that I need through my headphones, I don't see why I would do that. Tech Free News. Now let's talk about the security aspect of it. I grant you there. I mean, I give it to you. The security is going to have to be really tight on it. For instance, just like with Apple Pay. Apple Pay has fingerprint sensor. Samsung's got fingerprint. Nexus has fingerprint. Samsung has the Retina eye scan. I think the security part. Yo, what's up, Reggie? How you doing? Thank you for joining. I think the security part of it, man, I don't know why it couldn't use biometrics. And by biometrics, your heart is specific, your skin is specific to you. There's certain parts of your DNA that is specific to you. I don't see why it couldn't use that. I don't see why it couldn't use those things like your earphones. Like if it knows like my AirPods know when I have one in or two in, because it'll shut one off, the other one will keep going, and it'll pause the music, if I'm listening to music or whatever. But what's cool is that it's got a sensor that when I put it in my ear, it knows that, hey, it's with me, I don't see why they couldn't put, like, on the sides or whatever, where it's just got, like, a little sensor where you touch it and it reads your fingerprint ASAP. Same with your watch. When I go to log into my watch, if they're already coming with the 3D scanner, with the fingerprint scanner underneath the screen, it's just a matter of time where when I get my watch, if everything's in here, my assistant and everything, where I just don't touch my watch like that one time, and it says okay, and then that's it. That's when I first put it on in the morning. When I first put on my watch in the morning and I touch it, it scans my fingerprint ASAP, and the watch knows that, hey, this is Subzerojray, this is his watch, okay. And as soon as I do it, I can say, good morning, Siri. Oh, hello, Subzerojray. How is your day going today? Here's the latest news from so-and-so and so-and-so. The weather is also going to be cloudy with a 50% chance of rain. You may want to take your umbrella. Traffic's light right now. And here's also, would you like to listen to some music after the news? You know what? Don't worry about playing the news. Let's go ahead and start with the music, and it automatically starts. I don't see that being a big deal. I mean, per se. Now, as what they're putting in technology, as the biometrics get a lot more advanced and a lot better, to where they're actually able to link your smart device to the DNA in your blood or whatever, then it's a whole different ball game. But as far as security goes, I don't see why they couldn't use a under the screen, like Apple's doing the fingerprint sensor embedded in the screen. I don't see why they couldn't do that in a watch or on it, earphone or earbuds or whatever. And you got to think about that. If they did that, it would really be hard for somebody to steal your pair of headphones if your headphones, in order to work, require a fingerprint from you. You know that could be a security feature right there. You know that could be something that's just integrated into tech along with it. So yeah, I don't see the security aspect of it. It doesn't quite worry me as much, because people was like, remember when they first started coming out with fingerprint sensors, and everybody was like, oh, they're gonna get my fingerprint. Everybody's gonna know. Dude, if you've ever been arrested, if you've ever, went down and got your fingerprints done and stuff they got that. They got that. Is your average Joe gonna have a copy of your fingerprints sitting around? I don't think so. Unless you got one of them weird friends that are just, out there or whatever. But I don't think that's possible. But I could just see that being implemented. I really, really could. I really, really could. So it just depends. It just depends what. It depends how far people's wanting to go. Like I said, when the iPhone came out, everybody was like, oh, it kind of took their breath away. When Google started showing off some of their stuff, everybody was like, oh. When Google showed off Google Now, everybody was like, wow, did you see he just did that with his voice, Or what about Moto X, where you could say, okay, Jarvis, and Moto would be like, and come alive, So you're gonna have somebody's gonna come up, and I think it's a matter of time where somebody's gonna come up and they're just gonna have the ultimate, the ultimate piece of tech that makes everybody go, I'm gonna get it. I gotta have it. I can't live without it. I've got to have it. Because think about it. When cell phones first came out, did you really need a cell phone? Did you really need that flip phone? Did you really need that brick phone, the Nokia 3310? Did you really need that phone when it came out? Because when I was younger, we had to memorize numbers. Yo, my homie's number is da 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 da. So I had to remember that. If I wanted to call somebody, I had to wait till I got home from school and then get on the phone, dial the number, and then say, hey, man, what you doing? Where you at? Oh, man, I'm, won't you? Okay, I'll meet you there, So when smartphones came out, it was one of those, oh, I got to have it. Same with the MP3 player. Think of how many cassette tapes you used to have back in the day. And then the MP3 player came out, and you was like, dude, I can hold how many songs? And I ain't got to have a case? They all fit in this device? Oh, yeah, dude. I need that. So that's what I'm saying. We see technology evolving and evolving and evolving. And to me, the next step is, of course, artificial intelligence. To me, that's the ultimate next step, to where it's not going to be, hey, man, you rocking that Galaxy. Hey, man, you rocking that Pixel. Hey, man, you rocking that Nexus. Hey, man, you rocking that OnePlus. Hey, man, are you rocking, oh, you're rocking that new Essential. Oh, you're rocking that new LG. Oh, you got that new iPhone. It's not going to be about that. It's going to be about the assistant. It's going to be, hey, man, did you see what they did with Google Assistant? Did you see what they did with Siri? Did you see what they did with Amazon? You're going to have, and it's going to be divided. You're going to have fanboys that are going to be like, man, I only use Alexa, dude. Alexa, she sounds good. She talks to me more. She's more intuitive. And then you're going to have people, oh, no, dude, Siri is awesome. Siri gives me everything I need, and she tells jokes, dude. I like her. And then somebody's going to be like, no, man, it's all about Google. Dude, Google hit me up and was telling me the other day about so-and-so that went down. And then other dude's going to be like, no, man, it's all about Cortana, dude. Cortana was telling me about this new space exploration they did. She even pulled it up on my TV and showed me the images of what they had found. Let's see. Tech for your needs. Yes, I remember those days, plus beepers. Oh, I know that's right. I know that. Nobody going to ask you if you're rocking One Plus. Well, but I'm just saying, if you got that new One Plus 5, somebody may say, hey, man, what phone is that? Hey, people do that, Just saying, I'm just putting it out there, but that's what I'm getting at. Everybody's got their thing, and especially Albert. Albert will definitely be the one like, hey, man, you rocking that One Plus? Because Albert will be paying attention. Albert will be like, hey, man, I got that One Plus. He'll be quick about it. Albert, I love you, man. I love you. But that's what I'm saying. Instead of it really being about phones and hardware, it's really going to be about who's got the cutting assistant, and that's where I see this new software that Essential is coming out with, is that it's really going to be opening the floodgates, so to speak, to where you're going to be able to, no matter what you use, you're going to be able to control everything you can, from one assistant, and I'm hoping with Apple putting the AI chip, the dedicated AI chip in the iPhone, that I'll be able to tell it, hey, turn the living room TV on, because I want to watch the newest episode of Flash, and it pulls it up, bam, and Flash starts playing on the living room TV, and I can tell it, hey, turn the volume to 50%, or if I got my surround sound, like Sonos, I can say, hey Siri, I want you to play Chill Hop. I want you to play my Chill Hop playlist and put it on the Sonos speakers and turn the volume up to 25%. She does it. That to me is just awesome. That it's just awesome to me. You know what I mean? To be able to do that, and also to have the AI recognize the different family members in your home. Like it can recognize when your wife is talking. It can recognize when your kids are asking questions. It could recognize when your kids are doing homework. Like when your kids could be doing definitions, and you know how we used to do it. We used to say, definitive. Oh, all right, let me look it up. And you go to the back of the book, and you had to find the word definitive, and then you had to write down what definitive meant, So Google can recognize when your kids say, okay, Google, what is the meaning of definitive? And Google says, wait a minute, it's 4 o'clock, you just got out of school, this is for your homework. And then Google will say, okay, you need to get a dictionary, or you need to do this, or you know what I'm saying? Like Google, Siri, Alexa, they can recognize when your kids are doing that stuff. Just like if you have an Apple TV or a Chromecast hooked up to your TV, wouldn't it be cool if your kids, if it knew that you had labeled that your kid's bedroom, and they're watching whatever program they're watching, and at 8 o'clock, let's say 8 o'clock bedtime, 8 o'clock comes up, Google shuts it down. No more TV, no nothing, and Google's like, okay, little Jimmy, it's time for bed. It's time to get into bed. If you get into bed, I'll read you a story. And little Jimmy's like, okay, Google. When he goes in there, and it's doing that. Tech for Your Needs says, also it recognizes what room you walk in. Yeah, most definitely. Definitely. If it knows that you're walking into the living room or on your way to the living room, it'll turn on the light. If it recognizes that you're on your way to the restroom, it'll turn on your light. And this is stuff that really, like I said, again, this is stuff that really gets me excited because as we get older, I want y'all to I want y'all to visualize this. My dad had um, something had happened. He forgot his keys, or I forget exactly how it happened, but my dad was somewhere and he needed some money or something like that. He was living with my grandmother. My grandmother at that time was 60 something years old. And my uncle he knocked on the door, and she didn't wake up. So he went to her bedroom and he knocked on the bedroom window, right? And she got up and it startled her. Well, when it startled her and she got up, she fell on the floor and broke her hip. Now, I want y'all to visualize this. Think if she would have had AI in her house. Somebody knocks on the door. The AI, she's got the AI in her bedroom. It's all over the house. And the AI says, ma'am, somebody is at your front door. It looks like your son, and it names his name. It recognized who the son was, and it called his name. Let me turn on the light. Let me turn on the light for you, so you can go and answer the door. Because now it won't unlock it unless you tell it to unlock it. So it turns on the bedroom light. Then, as you're getting up and you're walking, it turns on the hallway light. Then it turns on the living room light with the porch light turned on. That to me, that is what I'm looking for. Because when I get older, I don't want to if I have to wake up in the middle of the night, I don't want to have to fumble for the light switch. I don't want to have to fumble and make sure, ain't nothing in my way, or where's my shoe at, where's the dog at, where's my cane, where's this stuff at. I want it to know that if I have to wake up every morning at 2:30 in the morning to go use the restroom, it'll turn the bathroom light on when I get up and I start walking that way. Or I can say, okay, Google, turn the bathroom night light on, and it turns the bathroom night light on, and I can walk in there and use the restroom or go get something or whatever without having to worry about me falling or anything like that, right? I mean, there's so much stuff. There's so many things that AI could do. Let's say you left the stove on or you had something in the oven, and Google's like, hey, what are you cooking? And you say, well, I'm going to cook these ribs for about 2 to 3 hours. Little do you know, Google set a timer. So after 2 to 3 hours of them ribs cooking, if that meat's still going, it shuts the oven off, Or if you walk off and you fall asleep and you got the deep fryer going and everything starts, Google senses, hey, this fryer is getting way too hot. It cuts the outlet off to the fryer. Come on, man. People need that. I feel like, me personally, I need that. Not just people, but I need that. I need that so I got security to say, you know what, when I'm 80, 90 years old, I'm still staying in my same house. That I don't have to go to a nursing home because my family is scared of me hurting myself. These are things that are a benefit to us. These are things that I think people miss the big picture when we're talking about AI. These are things that, just like being a diabetic, Apple's coming out with the technology to where they'll test your blood sugar through the watch, where there's no pricks, no nothing. It's totally invasive, where it measures your blood sugar just through your watch. How many people would that help? Where your Siri's telling you, hey man, your sugar's really, really high, you need to drink some water. Or if you got some insulin, you need to take it now. Hey, it's been 8 hours since your last insulin shot. You need to take your insulin shot now. There's so many avenues that AI can really, really help people. And I think it should not matter which AI you pick, that you pick the AI that is comfortable for you to use, and you work with that AI no matter what hardware it is. That to me is really, really exciting. I think that's more exciting than a lot of the phone tech that we have today. You know, so I want to get your guys' opinion on what do y'all think about that? Do you see where it's getting is we're getting to that point. We're getting to the tech that's gonna allow us to be able to do these things. You know, I don't know if y'all get excited and get as excited as I do just talking about this stuff because no longer is it in the realm of daydream fantasy. This is possibility. This is happening now, and we're able to witness this and be a part of this and be the driving force behind this because as techies, as geeks, as nerds, as people who are ingrained in technology, we're going to be part of that driving force in that. You know, the more we use technology, the more we're comfortable with technology, the more our kids and our relatives are going to be comfortable with technology, and then their kids, and so on and so forth. You know, so guys, let me get some feedback here. What do y'all think about the state of technology and what it could become? And while I'm waiting on y'all, I'm going to get me some water. Woo, man. Oh, this great conversation. Great conversation. I am loving it. Oh, I'm loving it. Let's see. Oh, man. Hold on 1 minute. There we go. Oh, guys. This has been just awesome. Yeah, so like I said, guys, let me know what do y'all think about it? What do y'all think about the state of tech? What do you think about where it's going, where it's leading? Reggie you says it's such an exciting time right now. AI and VR have so many possibilities. Exactly, and we haven't even talked about VR. I mean, here's the thing, and I want to throw this out there because I want you guys to really think about this and then hit me with your comments, okay? Let's say you're on vacation, right? Let's say that something happens, God forbid, something happens and you have to have a little bit of surgery done, right? Your doctor is back in your home state, okay? You're like thousands of miles apart. So your doctor says, okay, look, I'm here. And he puts on the VR headset and he sees everything right there. And he's the one performing the surgery, even though he's several miles apart. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Phone Tech at Work says foldable displays and AI. Ooh. Now, foldable displays are coming. We know that several manufacturers are working on them. I just for a tablet, I could see a foldable display, so that way the footprint's not as large. Or for like a wallpaper TV, I guess. I could see that, but I don't know. I don't know because foldable displays to me would have been cooler a couple of years back than it is now because I think what we're seeing, phone tech, we're seeing a miniaturization, you know, to where eventually there's not going to be a screen. Eventually you're not going to be looking at a screen like we look at a screen now, you know. I'm thinking it's all going to be done by AI. I really, really do. I think everything is going to be fed to us through AI. Now, that being said, there's something that we haven't touched on that could possibly be making it really big if they perfect the technology, and that's hologram. I'm gonna hit y'all with that for a minute. Let that sink in. Hologram. If there's news coverage or something that comes up, um, let's say that your AI is telling you, oh, there was something, the president did something, some ceremony or something, you say, oh, okay, I want to see that. So you hold your watch up like this, and the hologram pops up, and the screen's right here, and you're just watching it. You're like, oh, okay, cool. Or like with your headphones in, it beams it out to where it's right here. It's transparent, so you can see everything that's going on, but you're seeing everything that's happening because it's beamed right from your headphones right here, and you're just watching it. That's cool. Reggie U says, yeah, VR can be really intense. You can have like a home robot guy that you can control when you're away, or have someone control it to do your chores. Yeah, hey man, Rosie, that I'm ready for a Rosie. We got iRobot, but iRobot ain't nothing on iRosie. You know, that's all I'm gonna say. iRosie. Um, but we're getting there. We're clearly getting there. And I think foldable displays, phone tech. To get back to what you're saying, I don't see foldable displays. I see foldable displays in certain aspects of stuff that we use, but I don't think it's going to be as big as what it could have been years ago. Um, I think the big thing is hologram. Like I said, if something comes up like, oh, Johnny hit a home run, okay, show me. I want to see Johnny hit this home run, and it sends the video, and it's a hologram that comes up, or it's a hologram on your watch, and you're just watching it, and you're watching Johnny hit a home run. That would be dope. That would be more than dope. You know, case in point, look at VR. If you're a single guy living in an apartment and you really can't afford a TV, but you got a VR, I mean, put your earphones in, like your phone in the VR, put the VR on, and start watching Netflix, start watching CW, start watching PlayStation View, start watching whatever it is you want to watch, because you got it. You're right there, and you're just laying back like, you're just laying back watching TV, and you're like, I'm good. I can get a phone later, or you tell, you're dating your girl, and you're like, hey, look, bring your VR set, and we'll watch Netflix together. And she's like, oh, okay. So she brings her VR over, and then you turn it on, and both of you are watching the same deal together, because hers recognizes that she's at your house and that y'all are wanting to watch Netflix together, and you send her an invite to watch the movie with you, and she accepts the invite on her VR, and it starts streaming to both your VR headsets. Just saying. Man, I ought to patent some of these ideas. Man. But like I said, I'm just really, really excited. I'm just really excited to see this stuff coming to fruition, to see this stuff coming to age, and that we're young enough to enjoy it. If I was 70 or 80 years old, I don't know if I would enjoy it as much as what I'm getting to enjoy it now. Let's see, dude, what was that movie? Was it Demolition Man with the VR headsets? Exactly, Reggie. I mean, that's the thing about it, is that if you and me are watching a movie, you tell me, yo man, you need to come and check out Doctor Strange. It just popped out, and I'm like, oh, okay, but I'm here where I'm at, and you're here wherever you're at. You send me an invite, and you're watching it, and I'm watching it, and we're talking about it and seeing it at the same time. you send me an invite to say, hey man, let's watch this movie. Oh, okay, cool, yeah, let's watch this movie. To where you can do a group thing, or whatever. That to me, is just awesome. And why nobody's thought about this or doing it. I don't know. It just baffles me why nobody's thought about doing that. But again, this is one of the things that I think is coming. Now, I can be totally wrong on this. I can be 100% wrong on everything that I'm talking about, and that's fine. Albert, your ears must have been burning. What's going on, Albert? Shoot, nothing much, man. Everything's good. Everything's good. Talking about AI. Talking about talking about new software. Talking about VR. Everything. Let's see. Reggie says, you know what? There's already something similar like that where you can group watch YouTube videos in VR. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. And that to me is so cool. That it's so cool that you could do that. What if you got home? What if you got home and your assistant said, "Hey, your best friend invited you to watch this movie on VR. Do you want me to go ahead and get it ready for you?" And you're like, "Yeah, yeah, go ahead, have it waiting." And then you put on the deal. It notifies your friend that, hey, I just put on my VR. You need to put on yours, and he puts on his, and then bam, you're watching a movie. I don't even know if I could imagine playing video games in VR compared to how I play video games now. That's just awesome. It's just the tech just blows my mind. Let's see. Albert says, cool stuff. We just had a demo of Alexa Echo at our company. Worked 80%. Yeah. Yeah. That Alexa is pimp, dude. I got to say that Alexa is pimp. And 80% is better than 30%, considering where assistants were at that point in time. But still, just like with Alexa, just like with Google Assistant, just like with Siri, we should start seeing more and more stuff coming out that's going to be used in that. I could see VR, I could see AI being really, really helpful to a lot of people. Let's see, Albert says playing stuff in VR might just be too intense. Yeah, I don't think I want to play Friday the 13th or Fear or what's that game that my buddy and them always play is on Nintendo. They said it, Silent Hill. Yeah, no, I don't think I could do that. I mean, other people may. I'm not. I'm not playing none of that. No, I won't even play it on regular, much less playing it now. That's just too much, guys. Oh my God, could you see, dude? Your chair would smell like pee. Oh, your chair would smell like pee because oh God, I'd wet all over myself. If I didn't wet all over myself, I'd be fighting my whole way out the house till that VR came off. Oh man, don't let me have my pistol on me. I might act like, go to shooting holes in my ceiling or something. Yeah, I don't think I'm doing that. Oh man. Oh, that's just funny right there. Oh God, that tickled me. But no, that's what I'm saying. We're getting to where this technology is just man. Ah. I mean, I just feel so blessed to be able to live in the age that we live in and to see this stuff, come up and to be able to, interact with technology the way that we're interacting. I think it's really neat that when I turn on my PlayStation or I turn on my Apple TV, that the TV automatically comes on, because I finally got that. Let's see. Albert says, try playing Slender Man in VR. You would be freaking out. No. I told you I'm not playing any horror games. You know, I'm not doing it. No. I mean, could you imagine? I mean, you're a healthy young man, and then all of a sudden you start playing these horror VR games, and the next thing you know, there's an ambulance being called to your house because you done got scared so bad you had a heart attack. No. No, that's not me. That's not me. But like I was saying, there's so many good uses for AI, and with Apple coming out with a dedicated AI chip, and with um, Essential coming out with their new speaker hardware that comes with a different OS. That's basically like a skeleton key for everything else. I think this is going to open up a lot of stuff. This is going to open up a lot of avenues. Um, Tech. It is nice to see the difference. Okay. Tech for Needs says it is nice to see the differences, evolution throughout the years. I'm glad I get to experience it. Exactly. Look at the evolution of video games. When video games first started out, we had Pong. Back in the 70s, Pong was like, oh, Pong! You know, then the 80s come along. Then we had Pac-Man. We had Super Mario Bros. We had Donkey Kong. We had, um, you know, all these games coming out. And now, look, in the 90s, we had Halo. We've had SOCOM, we've had Call of Duties, we've had Medal of Honors, and now look at where it's progressed to where it's cinema quality stuff. It's really really awesome to be able to experience all these different things that have happened that have come along lately. Um, it's just I just like I said, I get so excited and I get so pumped up to be able to see all this tech, to be able to see, hey, this is where we see it going. This is where I was here when Google Now first came out, when Google Assistant first came out. I was here when Siri first came out. I was here when they introduced Alexa. I was here when they introduced Google Home. I was here when they introduced Chromecast, when they introduced the first iPod, the first iPhone. Oh, it is so awesome. So awesome. VR, Albert says, VR, AR, and AI is going to be the future. Today, some of it seems like it hasn't found its purpose yet. Once we see the real use cases that enhance our lives, it'll be great. Exactly. That is 100% correct, Albert. You're exactly right. As soon as people get a taste of it and can see what it's going to do, how it enhances their lives, how it makes everything flow better, how it makes their daily lives a lot easier without having to go through a bunch of rigmarole like we do now, people are going to snatch it up. People really are. They're going to snatch it up. Well, guys, it's about that time. I hate to do this, but I need to end the stream. As always, I want to thank Albert U. I want to thank Tech for Your Needs. I want to thank Reggie U. I want to thank Forbes Tech Reviews. I want to thank Bada Dahir. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you for even entertaining me. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all had fun. I pray that y'all enjoy every conversation and everything that we get to talk about. Yo, it's okay, Albert. I greatly appreciate it, though. But I really do. I hope y'all enjoy these conversations. I hope y'all enjoy my take and my look on technology. I just hope that somehow I'm enhancing your day is what I'm trying to say. I hope that y'all really enjoy the things that I talk about and the thing and my perspective on stuff, because I'm just a nobody. I'm just somebody that's here just talking about something that he really likes, something that he's interested in. And I just, like I said, I hope y'all really enjoyed it. As always, this is your boy, Subzerojray, saying peace. Have a blessed night. I'm out.